Okay, sorry, there was some call interruptions. Right. So what I was telling was on the acidity. So the minimal edible point is that from the day of harvest to 4.5 days. That means after 4.5 days or 5 days, one can blindly cut this jackfruit, and which is guaranteed to give 25 bricks at full maturity on 4.5 days. And if the storage condition is at 25-degree room temperature, at 8th day it's supposed to give 32.53 bricks, and ninth dates it's supposed to give 30 bricks, and 8 to 10 days sometime aroma strongest is going to be felt. That's what it indicates. So the minimal edible point is at 4.5 day. The maximum optimal point, which can guarantee the wow factor, the best of the best taste, is on 8th day, and then aroma could be after 8 plus days to 10 days, 9 or 10 days. And then after aroma, what happens is, as I said, the bricks value will further reduce, acidity will increase, the bulbs will become juiciness, thickness of the bulb will continue to reduce further, little by little it will reduce further, and then at some point of time acidity will clearly dominate the bricks value, and you will clearly feel a bitter taste, and nutrition will go down further, and beyond certain point you can clearly say that it's no longer edible, it has to be discarded. Likewise, this particular sample cut after 8 plus to 9 days, it is exhibited 36 bricks today when I cut, and still I don't see any aroma, right, and not much damages. Only one place I have seen black patches here, indicating that the fruit had attained its maximum TSS potential, maximum bricks. Means any variety, if you take one sign of full maturity is the bulbs, whether the taste or TSS bricks value at this tip or the mid or this point, it should be same. If there are variations, then it indicates it still has scope for immaturity. That's what it indicates. Generally, in an immature jackfruit or partially mature jackfruit, the taste at this tip will be higher, then the next best is here, then the lowest is here. That's what it indicates. So when the rind will starts patches or fungal infections or damages, means when the for example this particular tip, it attained its already maximum TSS bricks, ripening it had attained, then the connecting tip, it will get into degradation phase, and then surrounding few tips, spikes or spines or whatever, you will see black patches. So if that sign is seen, that means it's a clear indication that the fruit is harvested without any post harvest damage, still we see such damage, that means the fruit has already attained its maximum ripening potential. That is what it indicates, right? Then and this TSS acidity ratio I have told till 108.43. So literature evidences that we could see TSS acidity ratio of 230 also. That means at 230, this variety, for example, a variety with 230, that could be around 35 or 40 or 45 bricks, because in Tamil Nadu, India, we have seen varieties which could give 43 bricks after 10 plus to 11 plus days. And that 43 bricks instance, what is the acidity ratio? Acidity you have to see. Probably it could be 200 or 220 or 150 or 250, whatever. So that particular instance, if you taste the jackfruit, it is going to be give the vast wow factor, the best of the best jackfruit, like that. That is what it indicates, right? And then the total shelf life, as I said, the minimal edible point is on 4.5 day. The maximum optimal edible point is the day of attaining its maximum bricks, day and instance of attaining its maximum bricks, and then till that point you won't be getting aroma. At any point from 4.5 days to for example 8th day for J33 of 32.53, you won't be getting aroma. After 8 plus days you will be getting aroma. Then that is the point from the shelf life, from the maximum bricks value to the aroma point, is the last most acceptable shelf life, because aroma is a clear indication that the nature itself has given that if you leave this point, the fruit is going to get into degradation stage with clear signs of juiciness, loss of nutrition, loss of TSS bricks value, and rise of acidity and loss of nutrition values. So the next last most acceptable shelf life is that has to be quantified based on assessment of the nutrition values and assessment of the acidity, which continues to rise, and assessment of the TSS bricks, which continues to decrease. At some point of time, acidity will clearly dominate the TSS, and you will clearly feel a bitter taste. So that instance, if you consume this jackfruit, you will get into stomach issues. So that means that is the last most point, edible point. For beyond that, which we cannot consume this jackfruit at all. So that means from the observations coming out from farmers of Tamil Nadu, especially on 40 plus or 43 bricks varieties, the variety takes 10 to 12 days for ripening. Till 12th day, you don't see the aroma. After 12 plus days, when it attains the 43 bricks, then the aroma starts exhibited. Even after cutting the jackfruit at 43 bricks instance, after the aroma, still the jackfruit takes about a day or more for it to become juiciness, and then the bricks value to reduce from 43 to 35 bricks. That means the shelf life from the aroma point to the last most edible point based on nutrition assessment, assessment of the TSS, assessment of the acidity, it looks like it could guarantee even additional 1 day. That is what the science looks like. So farmers of Tamil Nadu need to be aware of these signs of how to identify the best of the best jackfruits with 10 to 14 days shelf life, which could take longer time for ripening at 25 degree room temperature, and then there is lack of aroma till 10 days or 10 plus 12 days whatever. And then even if cutting the jackfruit at 4.5 day or 5 days, the jackfruit stays good for another many days, 2 to 3 days or 5 days, even in spite of keeping it outside at room temperature, in spite of cutting the jackfruit every day, even you consume few, and still the remaining bulbs are edible. And even that acidity taste is even after ripening, after strongest aroma, the aroma that continues to keep the bulb edible. So if these signs are clear indicators that variety is a potential variety of higher shelf life of 10 to 14 days. So that is what farmers should identify, and they should remember that there is an act called PPVFRA, which was passed by Indian Parliament in 2001, called as Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, which guarantees 18 years custodian rights for such varieties to farmers, whoever owns those variety. And during that 18 years, nobody else can propagate this variety. Even if somebody propagates infringing your rights, custodian rights of farmers, the farmers have provisions to enforce penalties and seek royalties from the concerned who violated the farmers' rights. And such acts, the act provisions all those directions for farmers to utilize as needed. And if a farmer identifies such potential variety, then they should approach the nearest horticultural institutions or agricultural universities, for example, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, and assess the fruits for 2 years by giving first few fruits, 3 fruits from the early season harvest, then the peak season, wherein the majority of the fruits gets harvested. During that peak season, another 3 fruits, and last of the last season, another 3 fruits. Why I say like this is because the literature indicates that if a variety gives 35 bricks at its peak season during 80% of the fruits harvested that time, that means the very first few fruits harvested in the early season around February or March, that is going to give 20% higher performance in terms of TSS, nutrition, size and everything. That means 20% means during peak load, if it is 35 bricks, 20% means additional 7 bricks. That means early season first few fruits harvested will going to give 42 bricks. That is what the literature indicates. And the same way, last of the last fruits during the end of the season, it is going to give 15% lesser performance than the peak season. That means the peak season, if it gives 35 bricks, another 15% lesser means around it is around 3.5 to 1.75. So that means around 30 bricks it will give as the end of the season performance. That is what our farmers should understand, right?